This video is called Sacrifices, and the reason it's called Sacrifices is because that's what the Black collective will have to do in order to advance in this world and allow the future generations to be able to thrive and live lives. So I got some bullet points. I'm gonna go over the bullet points, and we're gonna conclude this video, get the information out there for the Black people. So my chief goal in life is to raise the level of integrity up in mankind and remove all the problematic humans from Earth. That's a fact. I want to KLL all the unnecessary, degenerate people. My other goals matter not in comparison. Becoming wealthy or becoming a world champion boxer isn't as cool as being Che Guevara. With this being my chief goal, extreme measures must be taken. It is an extreme goal wherein violence is essential. Violence is essential. And if you don't understand that, I got this next point for you. And this is for the people who say things like, oh, well, why can't we just all get along? Why can't we just all love each other and be happy? Well, because people are petty and immature. That's why we can't get along. I was talking to a Black guy who follows me on Instagram. I was telling him that the Blacks are in a weak state because we've been losing in war, that is. I said to him that the future of our race depends on how effectively we can create a warrior class of men ready to kill. Maybe I shouldn't have said that word, but instead of kill, we'll say K. We'll just say K. His response was one of weakness. You should just run for office since you're smart and violence is primitive. I had no response for him. Thus, he doesn't understand how the world works. He doesn't understand how the world works. Furthermore, there is no way I'm changing this guy's nature, which is one of be killed instead of killing. BK instead of K-ing. I don't think people realize how dominant and effective the white man has been. And then I'm about to go into how violence is necessary. And it's not necessarily primitive. Like, for example, most of the violence that I've engaged in toward other people in my life has not been primitive or emotional or anything like that. It's actually been like coldly rational and just almost robotic and psychotic. You dig? So when people say that violence is primitive, no, it's necessarily not primitive. And it's actually very effective if you want to get what you want in this world. That's okay. I'm not gonna go into that yet. We're in a place called America, which originally was owned by Native American people, the red man, not white guys. Before the massacre of the Native American people, the continent consisted of 100% indigenous people, brown Native American people. Now America consists of less than 5% of the people who actually own the land. So it's about 2.97% of Native American people who are still alive in the continent that they own. It's crazy. The white man obliterated the natives in war, enslaved the women and children, and now we're in a very strong position financially and geopolitically because of such. The Europeans won in war and were rewarded beautifully because of their victories. This is not to say that their means of getting what they wanted are moral. It's quite the contrary. So the Europeans are doing great. The Europeans, the Americans, these people are doing great because they won in a war. And then they enslaved the people, and then they leveraged the productivity and usefulness of the slaves to become wealthy. They got a head start. They got a big leap forward. And that's because they won in war. The whites committed the same genocide against the blacks. Yeah, we all know this. Except, of course, if you're black, you get it the worst. It's a fact. You get it the worst. Black people need to understand we are the most hated collective on the planet Earth. Nobody likes us. Everybody talks about us behind our backs, and we need to start doing something about it. We need to start engaging in extreme levels of violence. Extreme levels. The Europeans successfully brought the Africans over to the Americas because the Africans lost in war. So when the Spaniards and the Portuguese got to Africa, them boys had superior weaponry. And that could be categorized as the Africans losing the war. And then there was actual fights that the Africans lost because they didn't have guns and all this advanced artillery that the Europeans had. So we end up getting enslaved and colonized. They enslaved our people and forced harsh standards upon them. Then, if they didn't rise to the level of those standards, they got brutally beaten. The only reason the white man has lost his mind to even think of such a thing is because they won in war against the Africans. The Europeans are not good people, but they understand that war is essential, and they're the best at war, and we need to take that spot at being the best at war while simultaneously being the most moral. The Europeans are the best at war, but they're not the best at behaving like human beings. What I'm trying to get people to understand, not just blacks, is that war is necessary, and winning the war is even more necessary. Winning the war is necessary, but in certain scenarios, you can. Never mind. I'm not gonna go into that. The whites, Arabs, moreover the blacks, the black collective will not be left alone until we have proven that we're formidable warriors. The white man has been extremely effective. Okay, I think what I was saying above that was that the whites and the Arabs, the Asians, nobody will leave us alone until we prove that we should be left alone. Yeah, we need to have an iron fist within a velvet glove. So we need to be extremely ruthless and mean, and we need to be a bit evil, such that people leave us alone and we get the respect that we deserve on this planet Earth. The only reason blacks in America have gotten as far as they have in terms of human rights is because of counter violence, which is to say, whites wanted us to stay enslaved and were willing to kill for it, and blacks were willing to kill and die to be treated equally. History has taught me that sacrifices are vital. This is true, sacrifices are vital. Furthermore, history has taught me that the European ruling class responds to nothing but pure violence. Inasmuch as this is all factual, there shall be sacrifices. And when my time comes, I'll gladly sacrifice myself, because I'm not that important. Hundreds of millions of blacks that come after me are far more important than just me as an individual, or you as an individual. So, with that being said, we should be prepared to sacrifice ourselves, because we can't all get out of this alive. It's just not possible. There's too many people that hate us, and they're willing to kill us. So we need to be willing to do worse. Yeah, that's just that they can pipe down. So we're not getting out this alive, and that's fine, because this is about the future. It's about the future generations ruling over the earth and being in a strong position. It's not about us being in a strong position, because probably not so reasonable. Okay. The white man has been so effective that he's taught the blacks to hate themselves and everything that's black and to worship what's white. Our women, for example, perm their hair to imitate the white women. Our men dye their hair blonde to imitate the white man. Isn't it strange how in movies the white man is depicted as the superhero, Superman, Batman, Aquaman, X-Men, etc.? They're all white. Isn't it strange how in movies the black man is always depicted as a violent lower class criminal? Yeah. When most blacks are actually soft, docile people. Yeah, most black people are not violent and mean and cruel-hearted and tough and stuff like that. Nah, like most are, nice, and they just want to get along in this world. They just want to crack jokes and talk about you and get along fine in this world. Just be happy. They don't want to go around the world colonizing people and killing people and stuff like that. It's a small minority of people, of black people like that. And the white supremacists always talk about the black folks who engage in this, but this is not the average black person. Like, the average black person has no testosterone, and that shall be fixed. But they always try to say, oh, well, you guys are violent. Oh, well, you guys are this. Oh, well, you guys are that. I always ask them, like, how was America created? Like, if blacks are so violent, how was America created? Have blacks ever gone to a different continent and killed everybody on the continent? The answer is no. We've never done such a thing. That's you guys who've done that. So stop lying about how violent black people are and tell the truth. But they won't tell the truth. They won't stop lying, and they need the sword in their eye. And we need to eat these people alive. Yeah, I'm not playing. Okay. These are not coincidences. For the Europeans are trying to, let me go back and read a bit more just so people remember what I'm talking about. Okay, they're all white, the superheroes. Isn't it strange how in movies the black man is always depicted as a violent, lower class criminal when most blacks are actually soft, docile people? These are not coincidences. For the Europeans are trying to condition you to be in poverty and loathe yourself while licking the soles of their feet. Yeah, they want to condition you for slavery and for being in a low position. Because they don't actually believe in white supremacy or white superiority, but they want other people to believe in it such that they can control your behavior and make a fool out of you and a slave out of you. But white supremacists don't even believe in white supremacy because it's just not true. The black man is the greatest man. You know what I mean? So these people don't even believe in white superiority. The white man is no superhero. To the Native Americans, they were the greatest super villains, which is true. Less than 3% of the population in their own land. These people, you go out in America, you don't even see any Native American people. These people are nowhere to be found. They're all gone, basically. That's crazy. But blacks are the ones that's violent. How was America created then? The First World War, the 7 Years' War, that's white guy stuff. The hell? The blacks never kicked off an entire world war. But the black man is oh so violent. Nah, it's not true at all, actually. Black people are great people, especially morally. Okay, black people are, the white man is no superhero. To the Native American, they were the greatest super villains. Black people are lost, but we shall be lost no more. We will find ourselves, be ourselves, protect ourselves, and more importantly, love ourselves. The average person is quite satanic. Thus, when I have to engage them in business or otherwise, they treat me as though I'm unworthy of life, as though they're so high up and I'm so down low. It's comical. The same people who treat me as though I'm human waste are the same people who allow the government to steal from them, to bomb little girls' schools in Iran. Further, these pigs allow pedophiles and homosexuals to rule over them. But blacks are the immoral ones. Blacks are the ones without integrity. Blacks are the ones who should not be alive and be enslaved, if they are permitted to be alive. So that was the end of the video. Quick, nice, smooth video. Join the revolution. The revolution is loyalty to benevolence. You can go to the Discord and join up. Everybody cannot join up. You gotta have some integrity, and you have to have some sort of skill, or you have to be ready to kill. So join the movement and take care, black people.